And good evening. Good evening. And it's been a while. It's been 6 months, just about 6 months. But conversations are back. Good evening. I'm Reggie Miles. So glad that we've got a chance to be together to spend some time talking about this dance that we all love. Of course, you're calling it stepping. I call it bopping, stepping, and walking. I call it all three of three in one. And so we're going to get further into it, into this oral history project that I've made called Conversations. Stay with me. My guest is Mr. Laurence Jones. Stand by for Conversations. And we are back live, and my guest is Mr. Laurence Jones. Larry, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Reggie. Thank you for
Okay,
having me on your show.
well, good, glad to have you on the show, where we're going to talk about this great dance, and I'm honored that you allowed me to be with you. I needed to turn off something. So my StreamYard is coming up. And it's been a great Labor Day, but I had to get out here and get this show on the road because I haven't been keeping up with conversations, since the passing of my wife. But I'm certainly so glad that you've consented to us getting together and talk about this dance that we call stepping.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, I want to we got a few more people. We're going to wait till they come in. Let me see if anybody's saying anything special with their comments. Let's see. Okay, nothing yet. But as we start off with this dance, and I want to start this off with the same question that I ask everybody that comes into this virtual space. Larry, what were you doing before the world's largest stepping contest in regards to dancing?
Well, before the world's largest, before they start having the world's largest, wherever they had it at, we were just going from set to set, dancing and having plenty fun. Dancing, like you always say, dancing. The men was dancing with the ladies, and ladies dancing with the men, and everybody was they didn't put on their Sunday's best, but everybody tried to look the best that they could when they came to the set, and it was real nice before the contests started, and it was just every I would say everyday thing because 7 days a week in Chicago, you could always find somebody, someplace to dance, even before the world's largest. It was
Mhm.
that's part of this. That's part of this town's legacy, the dancing that we do. So you call it walking, bopping, and some people call it stepping or whatever you may call it. But that's what I was doing. I was just going from set to set, wherever it was at, north side, south side, west side, wherever it was at, I went.
And then, so you're primarily from the West Side?
I'm from the west side.
Okay, and where were the places that you attended? Or let me say, when you were young, what was the first place that you went to, and who was the DJ that you attended this first social partner dance at? Where did you go?
The first ballroom I went to was on St. Louis and Jackson, and it was St. Phillips. That's when Herb Kent was able to go into the neighborhoods and give sets for the teenagers from, I would say back then, from Marshall High School, Crane, Farragut, Harrison, even the north side of the Cooley High, the Wells. Those are the people that basically, there was a few Southsiders that came to the St. Phillips, but that was basically because they also had a set on the south side, right off 63rd Street, called St. Bernard's. Herb Kent was able to get in those places and give those sets for the young people. I guess it maybe to keep young people out of trouble, give young people something to do that was positive. So
Mm-hmm.
St. Phillips was the first ballroom that I ever went inside of. Before that, I was just going in the restaurants at lunchtime from school, from dancing, and that's basically the big set was the St. Philip. That's the first big set I went to.
So at these big sets, and they were primarily attended with high school students. Was it all just stepping music? Was there what was how was the DJ? How did Herb Kent play the music? Did you all boogie at these sets? What did you do?
Well, we I gotta say it. I had to say it your way. We walked, we skipped, we bopped, and that's what we did. We walked, skipped, bopped, and yeah, and also I can't leave this out. We also did the twine.
Mm-hmm.
We did when they had the line dancing. We did the twine. We did the roach. We did the Madison and all of that stuff. We did that stuff also. But basically, these places were they was really pushing out the Motown sounds and all that stuff. That and the sounds, the chess records in Chicago, the impressions and the five steps and Smokey Robinson and the Temptations and those were the things that we danced off of.
Okay.
Back then, the Marvelettes, we yeah that's basically what we did.
Listen, Larry, I want you to move your camera just over a little bit so you can get centered. Yeah, so I need you to stay
Are
centered.
you feeling now?
Yeah, I want to get you. Yeah, I'm sitting down, but I want you more centered out because you was like on the edge. Yeah, now that's much better. Now bring it down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, because we want to keep you centered now, and if you get a little more light in front of you on your face, that'll be good too. And that's wonderful. So I'm just glad that we're going and we're dealing with this. So St. Phillips was the place on the west side, and the DJ was the great.
How's that, Reggie?
That's better. That's much better. The
That's
great
much
radio.
better.
Yes, sir. The great radio personality, Mr. Herb Kent. Now that was really good. Now, were there any guys that at that time that you were young that you might have looked at and you might have said, "Oh man, this cat got something," or did you see anybody that that was really on top of their game with their game that maybe you like wanted to? I need to steal something from him, or who were some of the heavy dancers at that time when you were young?
The heavy dancers, I could almost see them now sitting in
Mm,
this chair, and it's been a long time. It was Boston, this guy named Boston, and it was a guy named Jim. Boston had a wife named Joanne that was his partner, and then it was Eddie. It was Edward Henderson, Mickey Henderson, and Lonnie Clark and his brother Donald. They showed up a lot and they showed out a lot.
mm,
So when you saw those people dancing, and I want to say this here, you understand, and I'm not disrespecting nobody, but I'll say this: the women that came out back then days, the young women that was my age, 15, 14, 15, 16,
mm-hmm.
they could really dance. They could really walk, bop, skip. They could really dance. I don't know where they learned that. I don't know where they learned that. I don't know if they went to the classes or nothing because I didn't know of no classes back then. But the women that feel and St. Philip used to be crowded, packed every Sunday. From
Mm.
four, I think from four to nine, about 4 to 9 or 10. The place was jam packed.
Now,
And
Larry,
yes, sir.
go ahead. No, no, no. Keep going and finish what you're saying.
I was just saying it was just something that the women from all sides of town, how we all came together with all the different guys from the neighborhood, and we danced with each other like we had grew up with each other.
Okay.
And see that, and when the walk record came on, you didn't hear nobody say this is for the walkers.
All right.
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that when the walk record played on. A guy might have just got through bopping with a sister across the aisle, but when a walk record came on, he might have wanted to walk with somebody else. So he would look, and then he would go grab that sister and walk with him. See, but this was just a part of the set.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what we did then. Was a part of what was happening. Walking, you always talk about how you love to hold a woman and all of that. Yeah, that basically what it was really all about. We had a lot of fun then.
So you was talking about, and you said this a couple of times. You saying the skip. Now, I need you to elaborate on what the skip is, just a little bit more. Educate us all.
Skip is a double step while you walking. Skip is a double step. It's a double step. And if anybody ever see me walk, I skip a lot. I don't just straight walk. I do sometimes, but I'm a skipper because the skipper has me moving the way that I like to move. A skip is a dance that's skipping is walking, but skipping is a different walk. And there's another walk called the slow two-step walk.
Okay.
See, walking ain't just it's about 2 or 3 different versions of walking. And if you ever watch me, you'll see them. Because I'm one of the few people, and I'm not just saying this here, Reggie. I'm one of the few people that still do these walks.
Yeah, you
everybody don't do them.
The skip walk. Yeah, definitely.
The skip walk.
Yeah. That kind of like it kind of got me. I thought that ho. Well, let me see. So in your times growing up as being a young man, which side of town walked the most?
All sides of town.
There you go. Talk to me. Tell me about
all sides of town. Listen, all sides of town. We all walked with the women, and we all bopped with the women. And there ain't no difference. And anybody that say that for a person that's been going from side to side ever since he was 15, 16 years old. I've been going from side to side ever since I was a youngster. And I'll tell you this here. I've had some eyebrow raisers on the west side, some eyebrow raisers on the south side, and some eyebrow raisers on the north side. I've seen people that dance so good on all sides of town that made me say, wow.
Yes.
So there's not a thing about who danced the best on what side of town and this, that, and the other. That don't even come into play.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this here. I have really seen some cold dancers, and listen to me, on all sides of town.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Among your peers, who do you give the nod to as being some great dancers?
There's a guy that be with since he's still living. Since this guy that I'm talking about is still living, he don't come out much. There's this guy, there's a big guy. His name is Philip. Philip is one of Lester's real close friends.
Okay.
The first time I saw Philip at the club on 55th. When I paid my money when I went in, they was playing a song by James Brown called Hot Pants.
Okay.
And Philip was dancing with this girl. She was real tall, dark-skinned girl, real tall. And they was like floating across the stage. I ain't gonna say, they was almost wasn't even touching the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
And Philip is a guy that I would give kudos to at any set. This big brother could really. He's a big guy. He could really dance. Now
Okay.
Lonnie Clark and Donald and Boston and Jim and today even me, even myself, I feel like that I'm one of the best out here. Me and my wife, I feel like we are a couple that really still do the dances we grew up doing.
Okay.
We dance with the flow of the music. I ain't got nothing against what nobody else do. I'm talking about me now, Reggie.
Amen. Amen. And I'm with that 100%. I am with that 100%. You are stating how you feel and what you do in the dance. Okay, so you mentioned Lonnie Clark. What was great about Lonnie's move, and what impressed
Man,
you about Lonnie?
Lonnie was a guy that I heard talk about before I hit any dance floor. And when I saw him, by him being it's something about real slender guys, real slim, thin guys.
Hmm. Hmm.
They have a way of moving that I would say a big guy can't move like Lonnie. Lonnie
Okay.
was a guy that he could move his feet. His feet would move at fast speed. He was a real pretty dancer. When I say pretty, the way he danced was just pretty. Today, I dance that way. It's
Okay.
hard to come in a set and watch me dance and not pay attention.
I
It's
believe
hard.
that. Well, we're gonna look at that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna look at that in a minute. I'm trying to get some things together uh, while I'm talking to you.
Yes,
And
sir.
Lonnie Clark, you say, had some of the fastest feet on the planet.
But it wasn't fast as Edward Henderson.
Okay.
Edward Henderson was a bow-legged guy. He was from the west side. He could stand in one spot and move his feet without moving his body, and it was just unbelievable. And he
Okay.
would grab a woman and not he wouldn't move nothing but his feet, and he would do the turn, and he would guide the woman while he was dancing and wouldn't move out of the spot.
Wow.
Man,
Wow.
I saw some brothers and sisters dancing, and it was just unbelievable. And I'm talking about this is in my younger days when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. This was long before I got to go into the big sets.
So you telling me it wasn't necessary for you to have an instructor. How did you learn to do this dance?
It was a girl in my building named Celestine McHarren.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to my cousin's house on 55th, and she wanted to ride with us. So when we got out there, when we got out to this picnic, it might have been the 4th of July or something like that. I asked her to teach me how to do the bop,
Mm-hmm.
and I only had one lesson from her, and from there I started working on it. I was about 13, 14 years old then.
Mm.
I only had one lesson from her.
Okay.
Yeah, Celeste McHarren. Yeah, we all like I say we lived in the same building. Our families was close and like that, So that was my first and only teaching. Everything else I've been taught through word of mouth and through eyesight, through what I
Oh,
see.
so you was a thief. You was out
You
here.
know,
You was
yeah,
out. You was
you could
still.
call me that literally. I was a thief. Yeah, I was a thief.
Okay, so what was the attitude among brothers? What do you think was the attitude among brothers? Now, if you see a cat that's really, a great dancer and this that, how did we go about relating to one another? Was it in friendly competitions? Were there competitions? What was going on?
Well, I think the when I grew up, when I was coming up, I think the dance contestants was before our time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, as we come up to the 70s, the contests started again. Back then, and when I was coming up, there was no contests.
Okay.
There
Okay.
was no contests. When the brothers would dance, and clown and carry on, and everybody else would get off the floor. But it wasn't a contest. These people were just showing their stuff. It just wasn't a contest. I didn't. When I first came up, I didn't come up in the contest era. It wasn't no contest then. And by the time I got to in my 20s, in the 70s, that's when whoever started to giving these contests on the south side. Yeah, and they started giving the contests out to What's Poppin', the Godfather, the God was another place it was the same place.
So
Godfather,
in the 70s.
the Green Bunny, yeah, all them places. Those were the places that started to giving the contests, But before then, there wasn't no contests.
Yeah, the guys and gals and places like that.
How we treated each other, as far as we treated each other with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that all the dancers, we treated each other with respect. We treated each other by if you had on a pair of shoes that one of the other guys liked, he would say, "Man, you got a nice pair of shoes. That's a beautiful hat you got on, man. That's a nice leather jacket or something." We treated each other with respect. We come in, it wasn't no you dancing with my woman and all of that stuff. I ain't never go through that. Maybe somebody did, but I never went through that. You can't dance with my woman, or what you dance with my woman, when the fight us jump out. I could honestly say this here, Reggie. I've really never seen nobody get hurt at the sets I've been going to, and I've been going to them since '64. I ain't never seen nobody get shot up, cut up, stabbed up. A few fights here and there, yeah, but I never. These sets were not violent. I always said that black people couldn't get together. But hey, I've been going to sets for a lot of years, and the sets have been a lifesaver for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honest. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. The sets have saved my life.
Yes,
going to the sets where they dance at, the dance that I do, have been a lifesaver for myself.
Larry, let me ask you, and I'm like, this is like, it's really something that's really on my mind. And when you're talking about the sets and you talking about the togetherness of these sets, was it the same way, or did you have to change the way you acted if you went on the south side, the north side? What was it like going to parties on different sides of town in Chicago?
I can only talk about my experience.
Yes, sir.
Going from side to side, one side of town to the next, it wasn't really no different. All you know is that you was just on the other side of town.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's how it was when I come up.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how it was. And believe me, hey Reggie, I've been to since I've been grown. I've basically been to all the sets.
Well, that's some
and
good.
Dance with all the women. I don't dance with them too much of them no more because I got my wife. But listen, I dance with so many women. It's unbelievable.
Speaking of the women,
they all can dance.
Speaking of the women, okay, and we know your wife is a great dancer, but coming up in the young days, what memorable sisters that you dance with?
My cousin Sharon Powell. Me and Sharon used to dance at the Keeman's Club, and Sharon was a cold dancer. She could really dance. And dig this here, I danced with her so much, everybody thought that Sharon was my woman.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of stuff that goes on in this
I,
community.
I
That's for
ain't
sure.
lying to you. My cousin could just throw down.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, she could really dance. And anytime it's hard for me to think of all the sisters that I've danced with, and some of them I've been involved with, and not mention my cousin.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
What-
she could. She used to come to the Eastern Rhine every Friday night.
So, oh, and speaking of East of the Rhine, so when were you there in the East of the Rhine? What time was it? The 80s,
Well,
70s?
the last 10 years, you always hear me and my homies talk about it. The last 10 years of the East of the Rhine was the best years of some of my dancing, because
Okay.
everybody didn't go to the East of the Rhine, but the East of the Rhine wasn't for everybody. But the
Okay.
East of the Rhine was the place to go, and that's where everybody showed their stuff.
Now,
I love the East of the Rhine. I did.
what made that set special? What
The,
made that set
the,
special?
the people that was there,
Mm-hmm.
the people that was there, I'm gonna say this here, is the people that wanted to be there, that should have been there. You
Okay.
know, it was the people that made the East of the Rhine. The East of the Rhine didn't make the people. It was the people that came that made the East of the Rhine.
Who was the
Yeah,
DJ or who were the DJs that you remember?
Larry, Larry Joe,
Yes, sir.
Luther Cage,
Luther,
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah, but Luther and Larry Joe on the Friday night,
Yeah,
they had the best thing going.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Larry Joe was a record collector par excellence, and Larry collected that music. And when he got a chance to let it out, coming up on the Sam's camp, Larry Joe didn't
No, he
mess
didn't
it
come
up.
up under he didn't come up under Sam check. He was playing stuff. Sam wasn't even nowhere near the East of the Rhine when Larry Joe and Luther was playing. I
Okay,
ain't gonna say I ain't gonna say that.
okay. So who brought Larry Joe in?
I don't know who brought Larry Joe in. I know he used to play the Fridays before. That was Luther's set. That was
Right.
Luther was the primary DJ. But
Okay.
Larry Joe would play until Luther got there.
Okay, good, good. Now I'm glad you said that because Sam had the East of the Rhine, and you know who else had the East of the Rhine?
Who else had these? Steve Breed played sometime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
cause
but it was hard. Hey man, let me tell you something. It was hard to play at the East of the Rhine.
right.
The East of the Rhine was a different kind of animal, man. The people that they see, we came to East of the Rhine to dance.
Okay.
See, the East of the Rhine wasn't no place where everybody wore their $1 million suits and all that stuff. That was not the East of the Rhine was not that kind of place. The East of the Rhine was where they played the music and people came to dance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody was sharp, then that so be it. But that was not the place where you came and wore your Sunday's best. That was a place where when you came to East of the Rhine, you could be somewhere else. And when you look at the clock and say, man, I'm going to call the East of the Rhine closed at 4:00. Say, I'm going to the East. I'm going to the East. You had to go to the East and listen to that music. See, the music and dancing go together like hand and glove.
All right, talk about that, Larry. How important is that music? Now put your face in the middle. Put your face in the middle of the camera. Now yeah, there you go. Now and talk about that relationship, Larry, between the music and the dance itself.
The music and the people, I'm telling you, they just go together. I played two songs I'm gonna throw out there,
Come on.
and you don't never hear them. It was called one of them is called the song is called JoJo. Don't nobody play JoJo.
Okay.
JoJo is by I can't think of the name. It's two groups that do JoJo, and they do it two different ways.
Okay.
You don't hear that. You don't hear JoJo on no set. Like I was at a place a couple nights ago, and they played the last week I was, and they played Leon Thomas China Doll. You don't hear that kind of stuff. You don't hear. They don't play that no more.
Okay. Okay.
But when you played these songs here, the flow would be so packed, you would almost have to wait to the next dance in order to get you a dance. That's what the East of the Rhine was about. East of the Rhine kept you on that flow, and they play. And I'm just telling you, they just played some heartwarming music that made you want to just do the best you know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was the East of the Rhine was just something else.
Yeah, you talking about that Luther Gage era, and I'm so glad you said that because I'm gonna have to call Luther and get him. I think I think he's settled down now. And hold on. Yeah, Luther Gage is I got to call my cousin back. But Luther Gage is really one of the great DJs, one of the pioneering DJs, and one of the pioneering promoters. Uh, Luther came out of the post office, and he's been out here a long time doing what he does. Luther has every record in the world. Luther can play some music. I mean, Luther got more. Luther got some music, and he can definitely play it. And then that story with you and Larry, by hearing about Larry Joe, I used to see Larry Joe a lot of times, and Larry Joe was a student of the DJs as well. Larry, he just went around and listened to everybody, and he was always on the hunt for music. And I'm quite sure from what you're saying that he really dropped some stuff that most people didn't hear at the time. He was breaking a lot of music.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing about Larry. Any other DJs that 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 throughout your time, other than Sam, other than the regulars, that really inspired you when you heard them?
Hey, let me tell you something. I wherever Terrible Ted was, that's where I wanted to. That's where I wanted to be. Wherever Terrible Ted was, that's where I wanted to be. Wherever tree was, that's them are the people that listen. When you walk into places and they in the booth, you go throw your coat off if you got your woman with you, you going straight to the floor.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you, Terrible Ted but played some of the coldest music you ever want to hear. He played a lot of blue-eyed. He played a whole lot of blue-eyed soul.
All right, now talk to me. What's Blue-Eyed Soul?
Well, those were basically songs by white groups.
There you go.
We call them Blue-Eyed Soul because when you play them, we dance off of them like we danced off our own.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what Blue-Eyed Soul was. I'm talking about. Hey man, listen, it was just unbelievable. Some of the stuff that Terrible Ted played that was just off the hook.
Okay.
He ended up selling a lot of that stuff and made some of these guys that thought they were DJ, made them DJ.
Yeah, there you go. Terrible Ted.
Terrible T.
Man, Terrible Ted Capleton. And that man plays some music in them doggone skating rinks. That man played music for the skaters, and he was really somebody to be reckoned with. Okay, Larry.
A lot of people don't like him, but I don't have no right to say that. William Berry is one of them. William Berry is at his set, at a set that he gives that people love to hear him. He plays some cold music.
Now, see that, and I'm glad you said that. And I got to put my check mark and get William Berry in there too as well, because Bill has been around a long time.
And he could dance.
Well, and the thing that's really uncanny about Bill, they talk about the slow bop and this, that, and other.
Oh, please.
Bill can slow motion on the bop and walk so cold. His timing is incredible.
You got that right.
He is incredible. So I do know and appreciate the talents that William Berry had and what he's added to the legacy of being great DJs. So we doing real good, Larry. We doing real good. We're doing real good.
Hey, Reggie, can I say this?
Yes, sir.
For 2 years under the pandemic, me and my wife danced off every Saturday night off of William Berry's program.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you said that because I'm glad you brought up the fact about you and your wife dancing because we can go ahead on and get into that, get into this right now. I'm going to show a little of that. And because I've been trying to get the other stuff, but for some odd reason, everything ain't working out for me. But
Okay.
this one I know for sure that I have, and I'm gonna see if I could just bring it on up here. Okay, there you go. And I put myself in behind that, and let's see. You see you up there?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you go come on out here, and this was doing. I mean, this was a time when you and your wife were, celebrating the dance in your lovely home, and y'all about to get down. It won't be no sound now because
Okay. That's okay.
I don't want nobody flagging, saying the talking about digital rights, and I ain't got no rights doing that. But I want you to describe and talk about your dance. Which dance is this? I want you to talk about it. See, because a lot of times, and I'll play it again. I'm gonna let it play again. But a lot of times, Laurence, people talk about the dances is sexual, and
No.
and it's sexual, and you don't want nobody close, and all this. It's too intimate and stuff like that. But I'm watching you, and there's a lot of space between you and your wife. And you're
Well,
not all up on her, but she got you. She hugging you. Y'all embrace very well. Talk about that control and how you dance like that, Larry.
I dance with my wife the way I dance with the way I walk with any woman that know how to walk. If she know how to walk, when I grab her, it's the same way. It's the same way. It ain't got nothing to do with sex. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. All we doing is just dancing to the music. That's all we doing. That's all we doing, Reggie. It ain't got nothing to do with the closeness and none of that. Because when we first came on, I told you that all the women that came to the set, I didn't dance with the same woman all the time. I didn't walk with the same woman all the time. And a lot of those women had boyfriends and everything else. They boyfriends dance with women and they dance with other men. And I don't know what this thing about you. The only time you can walk with somebody is if you in love with them, or if that's your woman or your wife or your girlfriend. That's not how I come up. No, that's not how it was. That might be how it is now. Things change.
Yeah, and I'm going along with that, and I'm learning now to accept that. But a lot of times, and I'm saying this to you, do things really have to change?
No, they don't.
Because I'm wondering why, and I'm editorializing right here, but I'm wondering why if a set of people can do a dance for over 400 years, the waltz is over 400 years old, ain't changed one time. But we can't even dance 25 years. We can't keep down. I'm wondering what's up with that.
What it is Reggie, is this. And here's a story that I tell about the Watusi, the war dance that they've been doing for thousands of years.
Come on, talk to me.
The dance itself never changes. People die and come back, even die, and their kids, their children, their grandchildren, their great grandchildren, their great grandchildren, when they get ready to go to war, they got a dance that they do, and they all do the same dance. It's a dance that they call the tango in South America. The tango itself have been going on for years. They don't change the music, they don't change the dance under no circumstances. The older people respect the younger people, but the younger people respect what the old people have put down to them. So no, the dance don't have to change. And all this stuff about people, I could do what I want to do. No, that's not how that go. Now that's wrong. That's wrong to say you could take something that's not yours and you could do what you want to do with it. No, that's not right. Wow. I know that you could change the step. I was looking at a movie. The movie was about Bojangles. When Bojangles got old, he went in a spot, and the younger people was tap dancing, and the guy at the bar was telling him, "This is the way the young cats is doing it now." Now, the only reason Bojangles couldn't keep up because Bojangles got old.
Okay.
He couldn't do the. He could not do. He couldn't compete with the younger people. You understand the way he could have had he been 20 or 30 years younger.
Okay.
But he had to. But he had to. He had to respect. He had to respect what them young cats was doing. But guess what? The young cats was really doing what he was doing. They was able, as young people, to put a little twist and turn to it, but don't change the dance altogether and then call it something else. See, when you go to Venice, when you go to them places in South America, the tango is the tango, man.
Yes.
You don't call bopping, skipping, and walking all of a sudden it's stepping. No, I'll say this here, and I'm not, this is just my opinion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is just my opinion. When we was coming up, look, I danced the way the people that came before me danced.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw them dance, that's what I wanted to do. When I saw them walking off of stuff like "Summertime" by Sam Cooke, when I saw them dancing off the blues or that same thing by the Muddy Waters and stuff like that at the Pimps, yeah, when I saw that stuff, man, I wanted to do that.
Hold on, Larry. Go ahead now. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to do because that stuff looked so pretty and good, and it was like a well-tuned automobile. The way these people was dancing, I'm telling you, man.
Wow.
And I ain't knocking nothing. I ain't knocking nobody, but man, I don't see that well-tuned. I don't see that well-tuned stuff no more, man. These people were well-tuned. When you walked in the place like the Pimps, Warwick Hall, and saw them people, Reggie. When you saw them people dancing, you would have to stand back on the wall and shake your head and say, wow, man, that's some beautiful stuff. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but sometimes beauty is what it is. If it's beautiful, it's beautiful. You understand? And that's how that is, man. People say that about me and my wife. They say they come to the set just to see me and her dance. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's all right.
Now, well, that's the one thing about conversations, Larry. That's the one thing about
put us back in the mix. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us here. Can you see this this video of you and Black Mary? Can you see that? Cause I done lost y'all on the screen messing around.
You lost me. Yeah, you lost me on the screen. You understand? I can't see.
But folks still here. Oh, hold on. All right, hold on. I'm trying to get this. That was my fault, Larry. I was trying to sneak in.
Okay.
Get that video. There you go. All right, now you to the side. We got you now. All right, now I can see what's going on. All right, so let me remove this part till I get it right.
Okay.
All right, now there you go. But I put us to the side. So I got that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this and then I'm gonna take this and move this over here, and then it'll be easier for me to pull you up. All right. So that's how I'm gonna handle that. See if I can get you back up, because I want to show that video of you and Black Mary, and who by a lot of accounts is one of the great female dancers that this town has ever seen, or that has been with us. And she is a great dancer, and I love her dearly. Let's see if I got it. Let me see. I'll get this Chrome tab, and it's Laurence Jones. Nope, I don't want that one. Okay, I think I got it. All right. Are you up there, Larry? Are we still up there?
We still here.
All right, let me get this right here like that. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna see if I can hit this button and then bring y'all up, see if it'll play. Okay, that's not the right one, so I got to go to it. Give me a second. I'm getting this right. I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning.
Okay.
All right, I think I got it here, and so I can just. Oh, let me turn that music down. There you go.
Right.
Now you see yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. We got that. Whew, boy. All right, I got there you go. I got us up there now. Yeah, it took me a minute, but so I'm trying to do some new things, but I just wanted to make sure that I got you and I got a chance to talk to you right away because I'm gonna start doing this my once a week thing on Mondays because it's time for me to get back in the fray and to add the other stories of people that have been involved in this dance. See, because I want somebody to be able to just come back and research this and then they can see. So you and Black Mary, what are y'all doing? Are y'all
We,
bopping the step? What you doing?
we bopping, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it this way, Reggie. We dancing.
That Letha, I didn't have Letha. Don't listen.
Yeah, he
Listen,
heard you.
I can hear you. But Larry, now why did we just call what we did? Why did we call it just dancing? Why did what was all that about?
Well, we never really had we never did nickname the stuff. We knew that bopping was bopping and walking was walking, skipping was skipping, and the Madison time was the Madison time.
Mm-hmm.
When we came up to those songs, we knew exactly what to go to the flow and do. We didn't make no big thing out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a big thing, but we didn't really make no big thing out of it. Just because the town, that's our culture in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I don't care what nobody else do in other towns, but in this town, 7 days a week, you can find somewhere to do what we was doing, Reggie.
Listen.
7 days a week, 7 nights a week. And you got off work, you could go find you a set.
Mm, 7 nights
Yes,
a
sir.
week. Now,
7 nights a week.
now Larry, you are excellent dancer. Always have been. But listen, Larry, uh, what's up? What's up with the one hand and the two hands with this dance? What's up with that, Larry? Talk to me.
Well, me and you was talking about the one hand and the two hand and the left hand and the right hand, but when the guys had the coats on,
Mm-hmm.
they would throw the coat over one arm and dance with the other. Now, sometimes those guys had to throw those coats down.
Mm-hmm.
It all depended on what they was doing while they was dancing. They had to put those coats down.
Mm.
Throw them throw them in the DJ booth or something. But it wasn't no such thing as the left hand and the right hand. And I don't know where that came from because I never really heard of it until I heard a few people talk about it. But the left hand and the right hand had nothing to do with dancing. You use both hands.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, set, different sides of town. I tell you, I say this: different sides of town. It all depends on where you went.
Mm-hmm.
We basically dance the same way.
Okay. Okay.
We basically, you hear people that's up in the South Siders dance better than the West Side. No, the West Siders dance better than the South Side. No, the North Siders dance. But when you really get down to it, though, you could go to a place that might not and see people dancing and might not know what side of town they from.
Hey Larry, let me tell you
Yes, sir.
something. Folk chiming in now. They trying to they know you here. They trying to talk some stuff. Joyce Parker saying she loved watching Larry and Letha dance. And then Amanda Russell, she's saying good evening. And then our good friend, hi Reggie. Hey, my brother Larry. Love Dimples. Then we got Victor L. Harris saying, what you saying is so true. And he's co signing other things that you say. Yes. and with a yes. So I'm like feeling this. I'm really happy about it because this is what it's all about.
Well,
Everybody.
Reggie, I'm glad you and I have been able to. I'm glad to be able to sit down at your table and then eat your food. You understand? Because this is your table. You understand? I'm glad you invited me in. I really appreciate it. You understand? I don't come on. I didn't come on your program to knock nobody, beat nobody up. You asked me to tell my story, and that's the story that I'm telling. And I want to let you in. I want to let you in on something, Reggie. There was a club set that wherever they gave a set at, it was the bomb.
Mhm.
CTA, the bus
O-
drivers.
Okay.
When the bus drivers gave a set, just put your clothes on and go. Cause
Yeah.
they gonna be dancing and having a ball. Ain't gonna be no fighting, ain't gonna be none of that. The CTA bus drivers, that's one of the first sets I went to when Sam Chapman was a bus driver at Barbara's Peppermint Lounge on the west side.
Come on,
That
talk to
had to
me.
be one of that had to be one of the best sets I ever been to. What was the other set over there? The Cameron on the south side was another set that the CTA people gave. 77 Greenwood, yeah. And these places was, oh man, I'm just saying the CTA, but they had a touch for giving sets that was uncanny.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yeah,
Cause
they had on their CTA uniforms.
talk to me. Tell me about it. Cause see, a lot
Yes,
of folk,
sir.
a lot of folk. Listen, this is one of the things that I've been trying to since my journey, and we'll talk about some of that journey. Is that it's a big misnomer that people think that we all party or we came from one place,
Oh no,
with this dance. And I'm just, I can't go along with that,
no.
because we were, everybody. I come from out of the post office, and that was a bunch of crazy party people too. I didn't
Yes,
have
sir.
to. I didn't have to go into this. It was 14 years before I got into the stepping community. Because I was professionally spinning in '72. I didn't get accepted by the stepping community until '86. But prior to that, I was working with Barnett. I didn't worry about nothing. Barnett was taking care of me, and I was doing many of the major sets, in the post office. And so it just really gets to me when somebody says that we all came from one place. We did not.
No, no, we didn't. And the thing about that is, uh, uh, I would say I used to go to a set um, on the west side. It was called the Red Top. The Red Top was a. I'm saying this here because this is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
owned by it was owned by gangsters and it was run by police.
Okay.
But
Okay.
all kind of people came there now. Now it was a policeman, a big guy named Rick Miller, and it was a little guy named Hank. And at a certain time of the night, they would turn on the mambo cha cha, and everybody would get off the floor except the big guy. These were police officers. When
Mm-hmm.
they would take their women, they would get on the floor. Would nobody be on the floor but them? I heard people talk about how somebody came from somewhere and about the mambo cha cha. But man, listen, the mambo cha cha was when you see these people do it, it was just unbelievable, man. It was on Keswick, it was on Keeler and Madison, the Red
Okay.
Top. Yeah, and I used to get in because my friends used to get me in. I wasn't old enough to be in, but they would let me in anyway. And
You know,
to see these people dance was just unbelievable,
you know,
Reggie.
uh, I gotta just we're gonna just stop for a minute because the Steppers picture taker, he chimed in tonight, and so we want to say a very special hello and a get well to Mr. Willie Bell.
All right, Willie B.
you know, and I don't call him the paparazzi. I call him the Steppers picture taker.
Okay, that's what he do.
Right. But I'm glad, and when he's listening in, it really, it really makes me feel good. So in your crew or in the people that who would you say are your homeboys, and why do you respect their dance?
My homeboys basically are gone.
Talk to me.
Yeah, but my homeboys, the last homeboy I had that I loved him in his grave was Slim.
Mm,
Ronald. I mean, me and him, we talked every morning. Every morning we talked, and we had a group together called the Radiance, and me, him, and Jeff, and a couple more other guys, and we was giving a set on the on Pulaski and 47, well, Watra. And it was a real nice set. That was the last thing. You couldn't have told me that months later he would be gone. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? That's man, and we've been knowing each other since we was teenagers. Slim was one of the greater dancers in this town, by
mm.
none. He could really dance. You know what I'm saying? When I say really dance, he could really dance. I mean, he could with bop, walk, skip, whatever. You understand? Slim was he was a cold dancer. I
Really?
miss him. I miss him at the set. Him
When
and
he,
him and Lil Shanks. I miss them
oh,
guys, man.
oh,
I
oh,
miss those. I miss those guys. I really do. I
oh,
miss some of my friends from the West Side that that's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Jim is gone. Boston is still here, but that's another story. You understand? But a lot of the guys that I grew up with, they not here no more. So I don't never get a chance to see them dance. And I'm Reggie. I'm holding it down.
that's what I was just about to say.
I'm holding it down, Reggie.
That's what I was just about to say. You know what? And I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this. And I happen to, and you hit it. You touch me when you mentioned James Shanks. He and I, born on the same day. Shanky would have been 70. I think this year is 70, and I'm 68. So, but August 30th is our birthday. And when we was talking, I talked to Shanks, and I told him, and we brought you up, and I say, man, have you ever seen Larry dance on the inside of the floor?
Nope.
Have you
On
ever
the
seen
inside of the
Larry
flow.
dance? Have you ever seen Larry dance on the inside? You and James Shanks, I have never seen dance in the middle of the floor at no time. I
And you
have,
won't, and Reggie, you won't see it.
you know,
You
but
won't
what?
see us there. You won't see me dancing. There. I grew up dancing on the outside. I don't know no other way.
hmm
I
What
thought
is?
that this is just me now. I
Mhm.
thought that all the people that danced on the middle of the floor
Couldn't
were the
dance.
people the people that really couldn't dance.
Yeah.
Like, that's just my stuff.
Oh man, listen. But is that a particular style? Was that Ivy Leaguers? Was that gospel? What was that particular
That
style?
was it. That was the people that could dance danced on the outside.
Okay.
That people, no matter who it was, if they could dance, they danced on the outside.
Hmm.
That's forever.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't invent this. This is something I came in tune with.
Yeah. Larry, man. Oh boy, time sure goes by fast when you having fun, and
Yeah,
this
dude.
this thing that got to be fun. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, but
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. But I'm telling you, because people done start chiming in, and I just wanted to see how things would go with just from my alerts and stuff.
Yes,
And
sir.
next week, my guest will be Tall Rick. Please like, share, and subscribe to the program. It's on YouTube, it's also on Twitch, and it is on Facebook all right now. And you can go back and listen to this because this is about the history of or the stories of. This is about our dance in Chicago, the way we did it. Okay. I'm making no claim to try to change anybody or do anything. But when I first came back to the scene now, because I'm really an audio engineer and I'm the audio engineer at my church. Okay. And so when I had my first tour of duty as a DJ on the stepping scene, I just my time was up and I hit rock bottom and things went awry from me. And I didn't have to come back. But I received that Lifetime Achievement Award from Step Againza, Irie Israel, Alvia McNeil, Michael Daveney, Diane Daveney. That pulled me back out. And when I seen it, and when I went to the first set, I saw you. And one of my first discussions with you, I said, what happened to the walking? I went up there and asked the DJ for a walk song. He looked at me like I was crazy. And I told you, you said, I've been trying to tell them that for 23 years.
I ain't lying to you, Reggie. I did. Hey, man, they wanted to beat me up, man.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because I can understand how a party could go from three aspects to one and then still be a party. Okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom that. But and so, I've been hollering every now and then, at least now when I walk into a place and I see the DJ, they'll at least give me two, one or two. The only thing that like is amazing me now is that if they give you three, then you gotta wait another 2 hours for another three.
Yeah, you got that right. Hey, Reggie, before we go, I want to say this here to you.
Come on.
And I want to say this here to the audience. I've been in the world's largest. I bet you more than anybody. Anybody.
We was gonna get to that, Larry.
I've been in the world's largest. I participated in the world's largest with three different women. And I have never placed or nothing, but I've been in the world's largest. If you could get your hands on at least about 11, 12, or 13 different world's largest, I'm in them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm in them. And I didn't. I had fun in all of them, but I didn't get in it for no fun. I got in it to win, and I didn't. Mm-hmm. You understand? I'm just saying that. That's just how it is. But I dig this here though. You can't pull up the world's largest. You can pull up about however many it is, 27, 28. You will see me in at least 13 of them. Mm-hmm. I'm in original, walking, 60 and over. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I dance my butt off on all of them.
Ain't no doubt. I'm in
the history books.
Yes.
You can't talk about the world's largest and not talk about me and my wife and everybody else I done dance with. You just can't, because I've been in them. Yeah. Mm. So I just thought I'd leave. I just thought I'd let put that out there.
Listen, this is an oral history, and I'm so glad that you did that. So now let me ask you again. Is there anything else that you think we might have missed that you would like to share with us and share with this audience as we close conversations?
As we close, I want the community, whatever you call it, stepping, walking, dancing, to put this fast dancing jazz music back into it, like Killer Joe and Summer Madness and all of that. When you take that music out, Reggie, you take part of the dance out. Mm. You can't take stuff like the Village Caller and stuff like that. You can't take that. You can't take that stuff out of the dance community and say that's old school. It is not old school, Reggie. Mm-hmm. That is music that's music that's a part of our dance. Mm. And when you take that's almost like cutting a person's leg off. Mm. When you take that music out, I tell you what, if you think I'm lying, Go to Argentina or Venezuela or some of those places, and when they play that music, when they play the tango, you will never hear no brand new music
Mm, mm, mm,
and say we don't play that old stuff no more.
mm, mm, mm. Well,
You
that's
take
called.
walking, you take walking out of the dance, Reggie. You
Mm.
cut her arm off. We dancing with one arm and two legs now when you take walking out.
Man, I listen.
That's the way it is, Reggie.
Man, I just happened to, I was speaking with someone today, and they said, well, people were saying they've been saying, well, they don't want to do that, and that it's too sexual. They don't want to walk and none of that kind of stuff. But I'm finding out that there are more ladies now wanting to walk. They want to walk, but the guys just can't walk.
You have to learn.
And then one of the other comments, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, they saying that many of the DJs don't know walking music. And that's understandable because many of them came from the house and disco side. And
Yeah,
so they don't, and the hip hop side. And so,
yeah,
and those genres, they never played any slow records or
at
any.
all.
And right, and I would really be happy to go along with a lot of our people that say, well, yeah, we got to let them be what they want to be and all this sort of kind of stuff. If the house people had played some slow records, but the house people ain't never gonna play no slow records. The line dancers ain't never gonna play no stepping music. So why do we have to change? Why do we have to give in and let ours be infiltrated by everybody from all over all the time? I thought that being a part of this culture, you were supposed to be cool, mature, and grown.
Hey, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. And I tell you this here, man, it is very hard. So, but the reason is I'm finna name three women groups that used to get sets. That the only time that they might have played one line dance. The
Mm-hmm.
Fox set, the dance
Mm-hmm.
set, and Act Nine.
Okay.
All those women that gave them sets could dance. Well, you wasn't going in them sets talking about playing that crazy music all night long. They said they wasn't gonna have it. They was not gonna have it. Now you got women that get these sets. They want a line dance. They say they want a line dance for the women that don't dance. Well, it's enough. I'll tell you this here. I know this for a fact. It's enough. It's enough dance classes for them to know how. That ain't no excuse.
I'm not right. I'm not.
That's the truth now.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% now because listen, there's been an exaggerated number of how many instructors are out there, and then, but there's only two couples that are new beginners in the world's largest stepping contest, and
How
I'm
many?
two. It's only two. It's only four people in the beginners category of the world's largest stepping contest,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and it's a whole lot of instructors. So I mean, we just leave that where that is. But it's only two people. Maybe they might be scared. Maybe they may not feel like they want to get up there and be on that stage, or whatever. And I'm just whoa. Whoa. Somebody asked the question, can you name five walking songs for the DJ that don't know any? Now, I mean, I just study to show thyself approved. You got to study that, and you got to start listening to the music yourself. And because a lot of guys on the set now, they think a slower tempo is a walking song. the
No. No, that's not
I
true.
mean, they think that a slow tempo in a medium song is still can be a walking song, and I just
Hey, Reggie, before you go, I gotta give you this here,
come
and you
on,
could go and listen. You could go and listen to this song if you want to.
come on. I'm gonna write it down.
There's a song called "Put on Your Wig, Woman." We going out to shaking finger pop.
Oh, okay, okay.
That was by
Now, you ain't talking about Junior
the
Walker.
same Junior Walker.
Okay,
When you went in the when you with Junior Walker and the All Stars,
right,
when
right,
you
right.
went when you walked listen, when you walked in the Peps, this is the tempo. Put on your wig, woman. We going out this shaking finger pop. And guess what? The whole joint would be walking.
Right, right.
The whole joint would be walking.
I've seen Hollywood Frank
He from
walk.
that era.
Yeah, I've seen Hollywood Frank walk off of multiple tempos.
Yeah.
I've seen Hollywood Killer walk on Sit Tight by Johnny Lytle. Man,
Yeah.
and then I'll start crying if I see him dancing off of the Village Caller. You know,
Oh, please.
and then Don Vick. And Don Vick is cold too, because one of the contemporary songs that came out was a Tony Braxton, I think. Yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
Tony Braxton, and the song was called "Long as I Live." And
Yeah. Yeah,
Don,
that's
where
it.
yeah, and where other cats, where a lot of the newer generation dancers, I mean, they tearing that floor up, they going. Don Vick could go to the outside and start doing a stride walk. I
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
oh, I said, look at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he'll go to the outside on you in a minute.
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying, oh, and then what happened to guys calling walkers on the outside, steppers on the inside?
They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. You understand? The reason they're not gonna do it because I don't know what it is about the disrespect for walkers. I don't know what it is. And people that almost want to beat you up if you say anything, if they bopping while if they stepping while you walking, and they act like they ain't supposed to get out the way.
Yo.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
so
the
what's that?
DJs, if the D look, my wife keeps talking about the DJs need to have the control of the flow. The DJs ain't got control of nothing. They ain't even play. You go ask them to play walk music, they want to beat you up.
Yeah, hey, hey.
Shh.
And
Hey,
then this is one of the things that some of the guys say. They say, well, my crowd don't want that. And
they'll
I'm
tell you that in a minute.
and I'm like doing this, like I'm doing this. I put my hand on my head and I'm like, so I'm trying to figure out that when did the inmates start running the asylum?
I don't know, but I tell you this. I went to a place on 43rd Street one night and made rest in peace. This is what Steve Brewer told me. Steve say, Larry, I play what these people pay me to play.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I had to go in, and I had to go head on.
That's right.
I had to just go head on.
Steve,
In other words, you can just go head on with that walk stuff.
right.
I'm playing what these people told me to play.
That's
They
right.
paying me to do it.
Right.
So hey, what can I say about that?
No, not a thing. And then I'm just wondering how in the world that you would be at a party and not want to hold a woman. I can't. Listen, I don't, we don't have to go no further with that.
We sure
But
know.
that's all I ever went to a party for, was to be next to a woman. I would dance with her to show I could boogie, but I could only talk to her when she was in my arms. And
Right
so
on, Randy.
so what's happening? What has happened to the romance or whether Mac or the macking in these parties now? Do they do that now? Is there any more gamesmanship at these parties? What happened
I
to
can't.
all that?
I can't answer. I can't answer that question. I can't. I can't answer that, and I ain't gonna even attempt to. I ain't gonna attempt to answer that one now. I don't know. Hey Reggie, but David's here. I want to say this here before I leave it. Before I leave this here, I'm gonna say, long live the CTA sets, the Fox sets, the Dan sets, the St. Philip, the Red Top, the Mac Henry Hall, Tree and Nine Ballroom, the Pimps, the Club, the Guys and Gals, the Budland, and the Sheba, and the Horizon West, and Mr. G's, and the East of the Rhine, and the Peppermint Lounge, and the Guyon, and the Confidential, and the Subaru, and the Ridgeland Club, and all I didn't mention. Long live them, Jack. Because listen, I had fun in every last one of them, brother.
Man, Larry Jones, thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me be on your show, brother.
Man, I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing this type of history. And so all folk got to do is just go back and listen to it. You ain't got to agree with it, but just listen to it. And you will find out that there's something different than what you know. You'll find out. And Maya Angelou says, when you know better,
you do better.
You do better. Just try to get to know better.
Yeah, right. Hey, peace, brother. You gone?
Yeah, man. I mean, is there anything, Letha, you want to say hi or something?
Not really, Reggie. Yeah, y'all called me out, but hi, Reggie.
Thank you so much.
I don't
Thank
have
you
nothing
so
to
much.
say.
Thank you all so much. And I really appreciate it. Y'all take care. And Larry,
all right, Red.
This is on YouTube. You can go back and look at it, critique it, and we can go back. Yeah, Reggie, you didn't do that. I want you to do that. But bless your hearts and thank you so much.
All right, Reggie. Thank you, man.
Peace out.
Yes, sir.
Woo, the first conversations is back. And wow, let me thank everybody that was listening in and was a part of it. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to try it again next week. Next week will be Mr. Tall Rick. If you haven't received it and if you haven't read or checked out his book, check out Anthony Dow's book. You can get it now at Amazon. And I forgot the name of it, but I'll get that. But Anthony Dow, just put him in your Amazon thing and check out his book, because it's now time to bring all of this information forward so people can sort it out and we can now start building a legacy for the dance. Reggie Miles ain't trying to change nobody. Reggie Miles is just trying to put it down where it could be kept for future generations. That's what Conversations is all about. Okay, next week, Tall Rick is my guest. Okay, thank you, Willie Bell, the Steppers picture taker, all my supporters, and all my brain trust people that help me get together. I'm also going to I'll be going every now and then to the shoe shop where all the elders hang out, just so I could talk to them. And I want to bring them to you, and I want to bring some of the new guys. And it'll be very interesting next week when I talk with Tarek. So let me get this together. And don't forget, please support all the other social media people that are out here. My main man, Mr. Tony Adway. Please support Tony Adway, Mr. Brian Forbes with Inside Steppin', Miss Tika down in Atlanta, and Lady Sings the News, and also Denise Kyle Ewing, the video queen. Please support all. Please support all our social media people that are bringing to you this information on the Steppers community then and now. I'm Reggie Miles, and have a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day. Peace out.